Good evening, everyone. I know I usually stop the live at 100 and get started, but I wanted to allow as many people to get in here before we got started tonight. Now, let me be very clear about something. I am not doing the talking. So we can sit here for 2 hours and I can play music. Good evening from Kentucky. And I can play music for the next 2 hours out of my playlist. But digital has talked for 11 hours this week. 11? 11. And I also posted the lives right away. And I was still watching Scammers. And today did not disappoint. I actually told the young man either it's the box or the grid. He was like, what's the grid? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I gave you an hour of my time. I listened to your story. I was patient. But you wanted to keep telling your story. And the more I let you talk, the better it was. I actually am thankful he didn't let me in the box. Because I was feeling sorry for him. You were watching me be patient? Well, now it's the grid or the box. And then, lo and behold, right before I go on, Mark Russell shows up drunk. I was like, are y'all trying to make this my birthday or something? Like, today has been a good one. Mr. went to Miami all day. Hasn't got back yet. What I thought was going to be a lazy day, I kept saying, oh, I'm going to take a nap. And then, of course, UFC came on at 1 o'clock and didn't end until sometime around 5 o'clock. And then it's been a day. So, I have a couple of announcements. The first thing is I am having a procedure next Thursday afternoon, so there will be no live next Friday morning, okay? That would be August the 1st, because my procedure is on the 31st. So there will be no live on August the 1st. So turn off your alarms. I'll be reminding you all week, though. And I guarantee you she'll make her goal. Chris, of course. But see, this is the thing. She's going to get her goal until the people who regularly support her get tired of it. I am no longer, and haven't been for a while, concerned with them. They have all gotten fair warning. They have all watched these two women over time, and they have decided that them begging and what they want is more important than what their family may want or need, or their community, or someone who is actually in need on here. They will spit in somebody's face who needs something, but send Maggie $100 to go see a superstar she's already seen multiple times. Please make that make sense. But guess what? I'm not here for them anymore. I am here to warn the people who may think about it, who get wrapped up in the entertainment of it, who get wrapped up in the rage bait about it, and then they find out it's all for naught, because the only thing you did was move them on to the next thing on the list. So, I'm no longer worried about it. Have a good time. Give her all the money you would like. I don't care. Now, I don't have a lot of different pictures this time because I'm not doing the talking. So, we're going to have to do a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of engagement, because they're going to send people over here to try to take down the live. Like, let's just be clear about it. It's very funny that they don't care about us, but they don't want us having the conversation. I'm sure she is. I don't care. She was invited. She doesn't have to watch from the outside. She can watch from within. But it's okay, because if she's live, her people will be in there. They're going to be, oh, don't worry about it, Beth, you're great. But guess what? They're also going to be listening here. So let her go live and listen. They might actually learn a thing or two. So I'm not worried about it. In case my live gets taken. Wait a minute. I don't even have this phone ready yet. In case my live gets taken, I have another account. It's Digital Deceivers Expose. And I'm about to make a comment. Another account. It's Digital Deceivers Expose. And I'm about to make a comment. Alarms going off, because I was making sure I was going to be here. Thank you, Grinch Mob. It's Digital Deceivers Expose. And if something happens over here, we'll just go over there. And now, I don't have enough to go live yet. But after my interaction with Tim and Angela, you now also know that I have an account called Princess_DDS. I was able to float around for a long time without people understanding that that was me. But it was the only way for me to get in TNA's live, so I had to blow it up. So if you happen to see Princess DDS floating around, follow her too. And what I'm hoping is that between the 3 accounts, I will be able to follow anybody who wants to follow me. I am bumping at the 10,000 follow mark here, and I don't think it's fair that people can't follow me. And I follow them back. But this is still always going to be the main account. Now, as far as the likes are concerned, whenever it touches your heart to like. Somebody makes you laugh, like. Somebody tells you something you didn't know, like. You want to set it up every 15 minutes, you like. However. Because I don't have the repetitive changing of the photos as a reminder. So let your heart decide. As always, I don't care about the number at the end. I only care about being on the FYP and maintaining the page. If you are a member of the team, hit the daily heart me. If not, stick around. If you like what you see, join the team. Now, for anybody who may be new, who may have been invited because of this particular Digital After Dark, I just want to do a couple of housekeeping things. So, first and foremost, many people do not know you're going to get the live to 300. You're funny. Most people, I shouldn't say most, some people do not understand the meaning of my name. And it gets confusing because people think I'm saying that I'm a deceiver. That's not the case. When I thought about what I wanted to do and who I was going to be analyzing, they were deceivers, right? Some of them lie, some of them manipulate, some of them scam. They're deceivers to get what they want. So that's where deceivers come from. Now I'm focused. What is the Princess account? It is Princess underscore DDS. DDS. Digital Deceivers Shadow. Let me hold on. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry. It's me underscore Princess DDS. My bad. I just told y'all the email. Okay, so first comes first. Somebody be ready to pin. This is back. Oh, what? Can somebody pin the one from Digital Deceivers Expose? And now I'm going to pin from Princess DDS. Sorry, guys. It's the SpongeBob. It's the same SpongeBob that I use when you guys come in to my regular lives. Just use the same one. Oh, it is Princess underscore DDS. I guess the at is it's me underscore Princess DDS. But there you go. Somebody now pin Princess underscore DDS. Okay, I wasn't off completely. Okay. We will be doing Christina Monday morning around 8 o'clock because I invited Cindy, who was the woman whose house Christina and what's his name, Caden, were living in. So there you go. Those are the two other accounts. Follow them, but this is the main. So, back to my name. They are deceivers. They are using social media, Wi-Fi, their phones, computers, technology to deceive. Another word for technology is digital. So they are using technology, digital, to deceive people, whether it be by lying, crying, manipulating, sob-storying, whatever it is. And I lurk in the shadows. And then I come to my live and I talk about it. Now, what I primarily do is watch what they do and say on TikTok and offer my opinion about why I think it's BS. I'll tell you when I think it's the truth. I'll tell you when I think it doesn't make sense. And when it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. Shout out to Judge Judy. If I get it wrong, I'll come back here and tell you, oop, I got it wrong. I was wrong about X, Y, and Z. But I've lived a little bit of life. I've done a little bit of a lot of things. And so that wealth of knowledge comes in handy when I'm able to spot the BS. I call it my spidey senses. So, that's thing one. Thing two, the box is going to be open because I think that a lot of people have had a lot of opinions over time, and maybe they were nervous or uncomfortable or didn't feel like there was a safe space for them to come and talk about what they wanted to talk about. So that's why I've limited it to 2 people. Normally, on a regular day, I do between 8 to 9 scammers, beggars, and liars. But tonight it's just going to be 2. And it's going to be these 2 because they have been some of the longest, most reckless, insidious beggars, scammers, liar, deceiver, whatever tag you want to label them with on this app. So why not come together as a community and talk about it? And maybe we'll even have some time to talk about some strategies. Now, there'll be no body shaming. There'll be no name calling. There'll be no underhanded, undercut things you wouldn't say in front of your mama or my mama. I'm not putting up with it. I don't put up with nonsense here. Period, point blank. My mods understand. I will not tolerate disrespect either. Now, I don't have the habit of muting and blocking unless you've gone too far. If there's something you'd like to say, you don't have to agree with me. You are still welcome in the box, but you will be respectful. And if not, that's why I have a platform and I get to decide what happens. If you don't like it here, no matter what side you're on, you have an account, which means you have a platform. Go to your platform, turn on the light, and do and say whatever you want. But the digital deceivers, detectives, are accustomed to a certain level of professionalism. We have a good time, but there are things we do not tolerate around here. And I don't care where you come from, who you sit with, everybody is welcome. But you will not use my live to settle any score. Something you want to say to somebody, go turn your own light on. It's not going to happen here. Okay? If you aren't sure about what you're going to say, make that clear to everybody. If it's just your opinion, make that clear to everybody. Because it's not going to be a thing of, well, in Digital's life, they do, and then everybody makes mistakes. But be very clear when you say something is a fact for sure, because you better have proof to back it up. Okay? And finally, I know that there was a great deal of discontent with the fact that the Pueblo Animal Control closed the case. And so for me, the case is closed. Not here to talk about it. If you only came here to talk about her and her dogs, go turn your light on. Not happening here. They made their decision. I'm not going to allow this live to be derailed by that decision. I'm here to talk about how she takes advantage of the people who support her on a regular basis. That's it. So I'm asking you to please respect that. Again, if that's a conversation you want to have, please feel free to go to your account, turn your light on, invite whoever you would like, and have entire discussions, theories, talking points, dissertations. It just won't happen here. Not tonight. Okay? Now, I'm ready. I've decided to start with Miss Maggie. So I hope and pray you guys are ready. Because for once in your life, digital is going to be quiet. For anybody who may be here, you just strolled through, you don't know what's going on. This is Miss Maggie Foster, and she is infamous for begging on this app every single day, multiple times a day, through the night. There is no time that Maggie won't beg. She will beg at home, at the grocery store, at the doctor's office, at a restaurant. She'll in fact go to a restaurant, order food, and not have the money to pay for it. Or at least that's what she tells her audience. She flew all the way to Vegas on New Year's Eve without having the money to pay for the hotel, and sat in the lobby until people gave it to her. And this is the gag. She got her Social Security check in the middle of the night and laughed and had a good time. While I bet the people who sent her the money, I bet you some of them have never even been to Vegas. And to go to Vegas on New Year's Eve? But I bet the people who sent her the money, I bet you some of them have never even been to Vegas. And to go to Vegas on New Year's Eve? But if that's how you want to spend your money, be my guest. My goal is to stop anybody new. I also want to share this information for people who may not know. Maggie was born with a condition. Doesn't matter to me what it is, and I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, Miss Brooks, that's fine. She receives Social Security that she's been getting since she was young. And bear something in mind. If a person qualifies for something, whether it be local, state, federal, private organization, what is it called? An NGO? Go get it. That's why we work and pay taxes. Go get it. So I don't begrudge anybody receiving services, resources, etc. But Gabby gets Social Security, SSI to be specific. And for anybody who doesn't know, SSI is when you haven't worked the required amount of, in her case, where you haven't worked the required number of quarters to qualify for Social Security disability. So Social Security disability is when you have worked, and then what you get is based on the last 10 years that you worked. Now, some people get SSD, but because they don't earn more than what SSI gets, they get the SSI amount, which is a little less than $1,000 a month now. I'm not going to dig too deep. Didn't I say I wasn't going to do a whole lot of talking? But I just feel like people need to know where, like I need to give everybody a baseline. So, she receives Social Security. She is in housing, which means that she does have a rent, but it is based on her income. She also has an aide that comes and helps her. She also receives EBT. She also gets Medicaid. And so one thing about Social Security and Social Security disability, once you get it, it doesn't prohibit you from working. It gives you a dollar amount maximum. So when you hear people say, I have Social Security, I can't work, it's not because Social Security said you can't work. You may physically be incapable, but there's no law that says you can't earn money. But what's important is that you report said money to the federal government. Now, when you have SSD, you can receive gifts and you don't have to pay taxes on it. But when you have SSI, because that is based on income, you must report it. And if you get too much in a month, they will then reduce the amount of SSI that you receive. That's why it's so important to report. Now, what a lot of people do is they hide it. And when they find out and decide to get their lick back, they want their money back. And they'll go back as far as they want. We have a case where it happens. And so Maggie has a list of events, food, places, people, things, bills. And so she comes to the list, and one time it's $30, and if you come back 2 hours later, it's $700. Come back the next morning, it's $250. She has a list. And I find that grotesque. So now that I've given everybody a baseline of information, I'm going to be quiet. Who would like to come up? And let's see, I'll do 4 people in the box at once. You said what is the list of? The list, hold on. Of course, the man came up first. The list is of things and places she wants to go. So if she wants to go to a Chris Brown concert, that's on the list. Then if she knows she wants DoorDash for today, that's on the list. And then if she knows that her internet bill is due, that'll be the next thing on the list. And she just continues to add to the list. It never ends. So no matter how much money you give her today, tomorrow the list will keep going. Hold on, Misty Muffy. Anybody else want to come up right now before anybody starts to talk? Okay, all for one, you have the floor, sir.
So the investigation is going well, and as all for
Wait a
everyone,
minute, all for one. You can't just say the investigation. What investigation, sir? Some people might not know.
okay. So for those that didn't know, I placed a call last week to local law authorities to investigate threats on my family and for myself, courtesy of Maggie Foster. You've all seen the video on my page. I'm using this page as a temporary page for reasons beyond my control. I was doing Ubering while I jumped into a box. Anyways,
Uh,
anyways, uh, the investigation, as you can tell, is going well in reference to the money laundering that was being conducted with the Cash App. She no longer has that Cash App. She lost it. Um, and I placed a call on Friday, left a message with the officer. He is going to get back with me in reference to the follow-up details and reference to the investigation, to the viable threats. Now, when it comes to social media, we all know you take every situation as if it is real. And when she made those statements, it was not good. Now, she does have a few minions that are coming over here, just to let you know, and they're going back to report to her, which is fine. I don't care. But as far as I've seen, her mods don't give her nothing. I haven't seen them give her. They don't even give her gifts.
Right.
If that gives any impression. So, but no, I'm staying on this. I don't care. One way or the other, her castle is going to start crumbling. And I'm
So
doing
can
this not just for me, but I'm doing it for everybody else because we're all tired of seeing this crap.
yes, we are.
So,
Yes, we are.
yeah, and her gifts are also suspended too. Gee, that's interesting.
Can you explain to everybody how the Cash App that she had been using for a very long time was linked to money laundering?
Yes. So when you utilize a Cash App, it has to be your Cash App with your information pertinent to who you are. That's why they ask specific questions, specific banking information, and so forth and so on. When you go to utilize somebody else's Cash App and it's not yours, by law, that is considered money laundering across state lines, unless that individual is within your state. The Cash App that she's been utilizing is from another individual that is out of state. I did research on who this individual is and allegedly where they live, gave that information to the local authorities down in her area. Now, when they get involved with the investigation, they'll pull in IRS, they'll pull in federal, and they'll pull in Social Security Administration to assist on the conducting of the investigation. When you're money laundering, you cannot use other people's Cash App. It states clearly that it's not for its intended purpose. So what's happening is that money that's incoming to that Cash App is going to that individual, but then that individual rewires it back to Maggie from her account. So it's as if it never went and touched Maggie, it went to another account. So basically you're going through loopholes to get that money to that individual. So that's why it's not legal. That's why you don't use that kind of stuff. If you got your own pay methods, that's how you use it. Now, Maggie at one point in time did have her original Cash App, but she lost it. This one that she was attemptably using was a business account. And by the way, I did report that Cash App as well. And I think the individual that was utilizing it for her realized how illegal it is. And henceforth, the reason why it was pulled, I think the investigation is still ongoing with that Cash App. So,
So I want to just add that what a lot of people don't realize is that while you think you're sending it to Maggie or okay, well this person is collecting it for her, when they do an investigation, you have now opened yourself up to whatever happens with regards to how the money got to that person and then how did the money get to Maggie. I don't think when people send their $20 to help Maggie go see somebody, do they think, well, I'm involved in something illegal. But that's why you're very careful about who you help. My advice is don't give anybody on this app money that you do not know. Personally. Because you have no idea what you might get yourself into. Just as an aside, a lot of people who were given Lisa money back in the day didn't realize that they were sending it directly to her DD. And so her rug dealer, in case y'all don't know what a DD is. And so if they had gotten arrested, and their financials had been laid out, you could you imagine getting a phone call from a detective asking why are you sending this individual money across state lines? And you're like, "Oh, I was helping Lisa." They don't want to hear that. Ignorance does not stop you from being treated like a criminal. That's not an excuse. You can't use I didn't know.
And Lazy Days was correct. When that money goes to that individual, that person has to pay any and all taxes on it. The 1099 that comes, and it'll show. So then when the money goes back to Maggie, she's not paying a cent in taxes.
Yep.
Oh, and I did want to point out one last thing. She is not the only one that's been doing that. And I'm not jumping off subject here, but I also want to let everybody else know Detroit Nike's doing the same thing.
Yes, he is.
So, and here's
He's
the
gone
thing,
through so many cash apps.
oh yeah, yeah. And Maggie tonight, I watched her. She got down to 38 bucks. That was it. Her money train stopped. And here's the thing. If it stopped for a reason. People are tired of giving all these individuals money. There's no reason. I'd rather spend my money on ice cream for my kids for the night. But somebody will be gullible enough to give their last 20 bucks to Maggie. Well, why? In less than a week, she'll get another check for SSI and her food stamps eventually.
Yep.
So,
But she wants DoorDash. Okay, I'm sorry, Missy Muffy. Your
That's
turn.
okay. That's okay. No, I was just gonna say, I think it was 2 or 3 months ago, and Maggie was at a bingo. She was buying those, what do you call them, pull tab tickets, and a lady asked her if the $75 she sent her the day before for food went towards the bingo. And she was so mad. Like, she's a deceiver, like, totally. She'll ask for food, but goes to concerts, whatever. But I have a screenshot of it. But this lady, she said, Maggie, please don't tell me that $75 I sent you went to bingo.
And what was Maggie's reaction?
She didn't react to anything.
Right. And let's be clear, Maggie sees everything. Maggie reads very well. She ignores what she wants to ignore. She's going to another. She was at a restaurant the other day.
yeah, she's going to another event, so that's why she needs an Uber instead of taking public transportation. And then she wants $20 for food. Well, I'd have to say to that, easily broken, Mella, you're in there. I know you're in there. Give her your money. Stop turning around and letting these other people have to pay for Maggie when you're sitting there in a mod box running your trap and sitting there throwing your own money. Well, throw it to Maggie. I'm just saying.
The other
And
thing
what
is,
shocks me, and what shocks me the most, and I'm gonna say this and probably drop. What shocks me the most is Mella's father in the position that he holds. We're not doxing or anything, but the position that he holds, I am really shocked that she supports what Maggie is doing from what her father's position is. Now, you can't compare apples to oranges, but you would think instilling that kind of responsibility would be a little bit more hastily better. I'm just saying. That's my opinion.
yes. And think about this. There is the potential that Maggie isn't just taking care of herself. She has also been helping someone else pay her bills, allegedly. So imagine you think you're helping Maggie with her electric bill, her cell phone bill, her cable bill, her rent, just to find out that she's taking that money to take care of somebody else that helps her. You know what does she call it? What is it? What does she call it? The Maggie family? Or something like that. Whatever she calls her little crew. Now,
Yes, the Mag family.
the Mag family. And this is my problem with that. Maggie feels like whether she told you it was for food, concert, a bill, once you give it to her, you have Team Maggie, there you go, that you aren't required. She's not required She's not required to use it for the purpose you gave it. Now, legally, she's not.
Exactly.
Legally, she's not. But morally, ethically, when you say that you're going to use the money for such and such, and then you don't, why would you continue to give her money? And
Isn't that theft by
it
deception?
absolutely is theft by deception. And everybody who sits in the boxes and laughs at her and giggles at her, and tells people to send in and mute and block the truth, the only thing you're doing is making it worse. And what I find interesting is you are what, the 50th iteration of her Mag family. Eventually she'll turn on you like she has done all the rest, and then you'll be on the outside and she'll be talking about you and she'll be threatening you. She'll be talking about your mother, your cousin, your children, and how she wants them to be unalived because she doesn't care. So,
And make no mistake, when you give your money to an individual like her, she has taken that information and found out who you really are, and she'll dox you. She'll dox you in a heartbeat. She don't care. And her mods will
100%.
sit there and laugh about it, about most of everything. And what they seem to forget each and every single time they get into a box and something illegally is being conducted, they're accessories to that situation.
Hmm.
So, police or no police, federal, whatever, they will also be investigated as well. And they sit there and think that they're untouchable. Yeah, try again. There's been plenty of people that have gotten in trouble on the internet.
And one other thing, I said this, I don't, it happens like a year and a half ago, but the feds figured out that people who were in like a cash business started using payment apps because they weren't treated like regular bank accounts. And so they were able to move money back and forth without reporting it. And so the feds had Congress put in language that now these payment apps can be treated the same way banks can. And so they can, at any point in time, go to Apps of Cash and her cousins and say, we need all the records of such and such. And they have to turn them over.
You know what I don't understand? There's almost 400 people in here. We all see what Maggie does. How come the people in her chat doesn't see it?
Because they're
What
choosing
she's
to be
doing?
willfully ignorant. That's what I call it. They know exact, because they listen to us. So they know exactly what we're saying. And if they took 5 minutes to research anything that we're saying, they would see it for themselves, but they don't want to because they're having a good time right now. Good morning, Susan. Or good evening, Susan. I'm sorry. I'm so used to saying good.
Hi,
Hello.
my name's actually Tammy. I got bananaed on my other account, but my name used to be 420 Friendly Tammy, if you remember. But the point, I just want to make 2 points. One, I think if people spent 30 days watching these creators before they send them a single dime, they might think twice. Just watch them. You'll see for yourself that they're scammers. And the problem I have with all of them, which is my second point, is none of them are doing anything to get out of the situation that they're so called in. And to me, that just shows a pattern that they're doing this for nefarious reasons. They're doing it sometimes because of addiction, greed, even need sometimes. But personally, I don't have it like that. I can barely take care of myself. So I don't give people on the internet money, just in general, or anybody. But I just think people are just so naive. I think there's a lot of good people on here that get taken advantage of because of people like this.
I agree with you 110%.
But you have to take responsibility for yourself. You have to open your eyes and see what reality, like check into these people. If you're going to give your hard-earned money to them, don't you want to know who you're giving it to? I would. But anyway,
And you
that's
know
all I want
what?
to say. I listen to you every morning and I love you. I love you. I do.
Thank
You're so
you.
smart and wise and I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you, and I appreciate you coming up.
Thank you for having me. You guys have a great night, okay?
You too.
And you know what? All for one, I have to really give you credit for helping that lady earlier today. Um, I was in there when you were in there, and Carmen was in there, and
Are you talking about Christina?
yeah.
I'm gonna need you to pause on that.
Okay, I just wanted to give All for One a
Yeah,
little bit of credit
that's
today.
Okay,
That's
pause
all.
on that.
that's probably a
Yeah.
good topic for a later time.
That
Yeah.
I'll be talking about that Monday
No,
morning. I'm all for one. I'm not saying that you didn't
yeah,
have the
that's a
greatest
good
of
topic to bring
intentions.
up.
That I'm not saying you didn't have the greatest of intentions, but she doesn't either. I'll just put it that way.
I
Um,
know we're
I
talking
know,
about
I know.
Maggie here,
Trust
so
me, and trust me, I got a lot of DMs from a lot of good people and a lot of good information. So we're gonna hold a live about her real soon.
yes, Maggie was
But
also a
as
gold
far as
too.
Maggie goes, look, if gullible people want to keep giving their hard-earned money, go right ahead. Because I'll tell you what, in the long run, my money's in my pockets for my family. It's for what is for the good of what I do, and I'll be damned if any one of these beggars and scammers will get even a penny from me.
No,
So, digital, thank you for allowing me up in the box, dear.
okay,
You stay
thank
safe,
you.
and remember, keep reporting Maggie's live. Whatever you do, she's already gone down 3 times. She can go
yeah,
down
it's
more.
working.
Other than that, everyone.
Can I ask another question that's unrelated to this young lady? Has anybody seen Lisa around? Because I haven't seen her on this app in a
We
while.
saw her last night. She's fine. I'll talk
Oh,
about it
okay.
Monday.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
No
not sure how
problem.
to drop,
Oh, okay. I can help
but
you.
thank you again.
No problem. Thank you for coming up.
You're welcome, love.
I try to
So
be done.
digital,
Yes.
do you think that people are addicted to sending money to like Maggie or Beth
No,
or
they're addicted to the camaraderie. They're addicted to when she's like, send in so you can make them mad. They're addicted to being able to laugh and giggle and live through her. I think some people are involved in seeing her attend events that she would never be able to otherwise. And they feel like they're doing something good for her. And so, again, if your intention is, you know what, without us getting together and sending Maggie to go see Chris Brown or Trey Songz or Bow Wow or any of the others she wants to see, she has food stamps. She doesn't get enough money to be able to DoorDash. They feel good. They feel like they're doing something good. But this is the problem. This economy is starting to squeeze everybody. Even the rich are worried about tariffs. They're worried about the price of things. They're worried about people not having disposable income to buy their widgets. And so, as you need to tighten your belt, and because it's economy wide, what happens when people aren't able to get together to send her anywhere? Or even worse, what happens if the federal government, all the agencies that she touches, decide they're going to take it all away because she's been a fraud? How is she going to live? How is she going to eat? Who's going to pay for her doctor's appointments? Who's going to take her back and forth? Who is going to be the aid for her? Who's going to pay a hospital bill? A she can use not only public transportation, but she can also through her insurance get rides to things. She can use like the community will often have a bus that if she does it in advance can take her from point A to point B. When she loses access to all of those services because you thought it was a good idea for her to get a VIP to meet Chris Brown, will any of it be worth it then?
Yeah, no kidding. Does anybody know anything about her aid? Like, has anybody seen
That
the
people know
aid
about
that?
her aid, and the aid allows her to use her apps of cash as well, which is inappropriate. And I have a feeling that if her job knew that that's what she was doing, they would have a problem with that because that compromises you. You're not
Wow,
supposed to be intertwining your financials with a client.
exactly.
Absolutely not.
Has anybody ever seen her?
Yep, they've seen her. The mods have seen her, but she's not going to put her on camera because she needs to. She doesn't want to be on camera. The nurse doesn't want to be on camera.
No, I guess not. Eh?
Absolutely not. She's live now and asking for 34 Lyft to an event tonight, and then she needs 20 for food. Yeah, we've heard. Okay. By the way, guys, if you've never come into a box, I promise I'm gentle. You don't have to have a whole lot of theory. You don't have to have watched her for 7 years and you know this mod versus that mod. You just come up here and sound off. Say how you feel about what's going on.
You're
Good
not gentle.
evening.
I have a question. I didn't even really think she had a nurse because when does she have a nurse? She goes to concerts in different cities. How does it work out?
She has someone, an aide, an aide, not a nurse. It's a different thing. She doesn't have a nurse. She has an aide who will come in, clean up for her, wash clothes, wash dishes. They may or may not prepare a meal or two. They take her to the grocery store so she's able to have food in the house. They check to make sure she has her medications. They make sure that if she has any doctor's appointments, that she knows about it. They may, if they're on the schedule, attend. So it's not a nurse. It's
Okay, so
literally
it's just an
like
aid.
a helper.
I wonder how often she has that because she
It's at
can't.
least weekly. She took the aide with her to the BET VIP in
You gotta be,
California.
you gotta be kidding me.
Yes. She took so when she asked for all the money to go there,
Oh
not
yeah.
only did y'all pay for her, you paid for her aide to go as well.
Oh wow.
Hey, Candy, we talking about your girl. I don't know if you want to come up. You are certainly not obligated to because your life doesn't revolve around her.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering where does she have an A? Where does she have somebody come back? Because I never she's always online. She's online at 2:30 in the morning. She's online at 3, and it's just like beg, beg, beg.
Yes, but she lives alone. So she's allowed to do that. She lives in certain housing. And for people who may not have been around or didn't pay attention, she lives in a building that has an elevator. There was a fire in the elevator, and so they couldn't allow people to live there until it was repaired
Right, right.
because
I know that. Yeah.
anything could happen. No, I'm talking to the other people.
I'm sorry.
So that's okay. And so while they were repairing it, they had to put all of the residents in a hotel. They didn't put them in a motel. They didn't put them in a dive. They put them in a very nice hotel. Now, while she was in said hotel, she did not have to pay rent for at least 2 to 3 months. And for the first month and a half, they were giving her $200 a week for food because she couldn't cook. there wasn't a kitchenette in the hotel they put them in. So she was able to not pay rent, keep her Social Security, and keep her EBT. And if you ask her, does she have a dime? She'll tell you no. She's
So
crashing
digital,
out.
you can drop me. I think Candy should come up and tell her story.
Okay, if she'd like to, absolutely, no
I
problem.
hope she does.
Me too. But I don't want her to feel obligated to. Wait a minute, she's crashing out because her lift is there and she's short $35. This is the thing, Sunflower. She's crashing out because she wants the money from them. But the truth of the matter is, she has the money, she just doesn't want to spend it.
Yeah. All right, that's what I just wanted to ask.
Okay, no problem. Y'all are getting me to talk more than I wanted to.
That's good.
Good evening. Aruba Jam.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
So I want to speak my opinion on Miss Maggie. My sister is physically handicapped and also mentally handicapped. She lives by herself. She is when she was born, they told my parents she wouldn't make it to the age of 2. She's now 45 years old.
Wow.
So, and she has worked hard to get where she is. She lives by herself. My parents check on her um, multiple times a week. She has staff that comes in, very similar to what you guys are talking about with Maggie, that helps her fill her meds and make sure she gets to the grocery store, goes through her refrigerator, make sure there's no spoiled food in there, etc. For a long time, my sister worked as a cashier at a retail store. She was there for 20 years, working 20 hours a week as a legally blind cashier with
Wow.
a seeing eye dog who came to work with her and had his own vest and everything. When she left that job, she went to work for a middle school in the area teaching ESL students to read English.
Mm,
It's not that they can't do it, it's that they don't want to do it.
correct.
My sister's job ended up getting the grant ran out at the end of this past school year. So she is now living without a job at this point. She gets SSDI, she gets she has everything she needs through that. Her job was to say that she was contributing to what she needed to do.
Right.
And my opinion on people who are sitting on this app begging and people who are sitting here asking for our hard-earned money, they need to get a job. Everybody can do something. My
Not
sister,
everybody.
well, not everybody, correct, not
But
everybody.
Maggie can.
Maggie would be definitely able to. I look at my sister and I look at what she has gone through and what she deals with on a daily basis. And if she can get out there and do this, most of the people on this app, Maggie, Beth, etc., can also go out and work 20 hours a week, even. That's the most my sister could work with her benefits and with her other disabilities. That's all she could handle emotionally. But she was out there doing something.
Right. And let me say that again. If you come across somebody who is on Social Security and they say they can't work, like Ty used to say, Ty, you can rap, write, and all of that, but you can't work. That is not a Social Security requirement. That is a choice that they've either made for themselves or their doctor has said they cannot work.
Correct.
Someone who's a paraplegic may not be able to work. Someone with ALS may not be able to work. But it is not because Social Security said you cannot work.
Correct. Social Security allows you to earn a certain amount of money every month with a job.
Correct.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, we are already at 9:07, and I'd like to try to keep my lives in order. So it is time to move over to the woman of the hour, Miss Beth.
Can you drop me, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up. I expected more of y'all to come up. I'm disappointed. But here we go. And let me say it again for anybody who may or who may not have been here or who may not have been here. We are not discussing her dogs today, okay? We are here to talk about the fact that she feels like the people who watch her, who enjoy her time, who are entertained by it, are also expected to give her things beyond her means and on a very regular basis. What I used to have a hard time watching her because her mouth can be vile sometimes for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And so I struggle with that because you know how I feel. If you have to resort to name calling, then you can miss me. Like, I'm gonna keep walking. And so when she told everybody that she wanted money to buy a television for her dogs, let me tell you something. If you have the money to do it and that's what you want to spend your money on, be my guest. That is not the responsibility of the people who watch you. The fact that you even dare to ask shows me how little you think of the people who are actually supporters of yours. The fact that the people who watch you are required to pay for your jabs, pay for you to drink, and I'm not talking about alcohol, I mean soda or whatever. When you want an anniversary, you know when your anniversary is. So how come you haven't saved a couple of dollars every month so that when a birthday, an anniversary, any sort of special occasion that you already know the date of? It's not a surprise. Why is it their responsibility? Now, of course, she will say it's not. I just put it out there and they give it to me. My question is, if you didn't put it out there, would they just be sending you money just because? Do you think that they don't have anything to do with the money? You think they wouldn't like to? How many of them have enough money to live on when they retire? What if they live 20 more years than they were expecting? Well, they have to look back and think, you know, I sent Beth $20,000. And had I left that in the bank, that would be worth $50,000 right now. And now I'm broke. Do you think Beth is going to come around the corner and be like, you know what? You gave me $20,000 over the last 5 years. Here you go. Absolutely not. Now, she gets a check. Hello, Guardians of Valor. She gets a check. What does she do with her check? She does what's called dabs. It's the devil's lettuce. It's what grows on trees, or what they say grows on trees. First up, and she gets food stamps. Correct. But she will then say to the people in the chat, well, we need dinner and we need X, Y, and Z and X, Y, and Z. You don't have your life together and you're going to bring another woman into it? Okay. Hello. I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hello,
How you doing?
Thomas. I am
How are you?
fantastic. How are you?
I'm okay. I hate yuck mouth.
Who is that, Beth?
Yes, she makes me sick.
What is your experience? Now
I
wait a
went there like,
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That will be the only dish you will give because I don't do that here. Okay?
did I say something?
You called her a yuck mouth.
Oh,
And I don't allow teasing and all of that. But go ahead.
so that's what I call her in my head.
That's fine.
She's just the worst. Everything she wants, she gets online for. It's like, get a job. And then she gets a job, and then she wears her shirt at work on live so people can call their job. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then wonders why she can't get a job.
I
It's
said
both
to
of them.
her, when I talked to her, I said, if you don't want people to call, don't tell them where you're going to work. And for some reason, they have a hard time keeping their mouth shut. And I don't mean just her, I mean others as well.
It's on purpose. It's
Right.
for a reason.
And they're going to blame us.
But they can't. That's their fault. I mean, nobody should call nobody's job because everybody want to go to work.
I agree 110%. I do not agree with that. Because it's like if she gets a job and she's able to take care of herself, do you lose your like star so
That's
that
great.
you're not gonna have somebody else to talk about? Because I know when they go away, I'm like check on to the next one.
Yes, like TikTok is not a job. That's the thing.
Not until you start getting paid so that you can take care of yourself. If not,
Yeah,
it's
I've
a
never had to ask a
hobby.
boss for my paycheck.
It's a hobby.
Yeah. I've never had to say, hey, boss, I need a soda. Can you give me $1?
Right.
I got to wait till my paycheck comes.
Correct. Correct. But what she does is she rage baits. She talks all of this junk, and she has them believing that by sending in, it is hurting us over here. It is not.
I don't care
Oh,
if they
hold
send her
on.
their whole paycheck.
Somebody, Angela and Kim are live. Can somebody at least be screen recording it or something? Thank you. Go ahead.
They can send them their whole mortgage payment. I don't care.
Neither
That's
do
coming
I.
out of their pocket, not mine.
Absolutely 110%. Have at it. But when it's gone and she's done with you because
Is
you
she going
can
to help
no
you?
longer send, don't come crying over here.
That's my thing. Is she going to send you money when you need it? She's not.
No. She acts like their family. But the moment somebody says or does anything she doesn't like, or you're not sending her money, you're disposable.
Her and her husband, they both are like that. It's so weird.
Oh, yeah. He's the brightest thing on the planet.
And
We
he's so
call,
tough but can't go outside.
listen, she has a big mouth that may be intimidating to some people, but she doesn't intimidate everybody.
I want to know who she can intimidate.
Well, this is the thing, and again, there were a couple of things that made me feel the way that I do. She was upset that somebody went real life on her and caused her to lose her job. But the first time I talked about her, she went back to her live and called out somebody's name specifically and said, I want to know who she is, where she lives, where she works, and who she's fucking. Now,
Was
if
she
I
going to actually
turned
pull up?
around and said the same thing, I would be wrong, right? You don't like people to go real life. I've never gone real life on you, but that's what you said about me.
I just don't think she's about that life for real.
She's
I
not.
really don't.
She's about that life in the center of Colorado. She's about that life in the trailer they have. But that's about it.
I mean,
Now,
yeah.
come on now. I know that there are people in here
I mean,
Now,
yeah.
come on now. I know that there are people in here who have feelings about what she has done over the course of time. And you mean to tell me only one person is willing to come up and say what they think? I watch y'all in other lives talk about it.
And I don't talk about nobody. Nobody's. That's my first time in a box ever.
Really? Thank you. I love popping people's cherry.
See, I ain't like that.
I'm sorry, that's just what I say. Because I want people to feel comfortable. You don't have to be silent.
Oh no, nah. Only if you scared.
Hold on, let me see. Well, Jay's welcome in the box. He can explain to me why he and I watch the exact same thing and sit on opposite sides.
Who?
Thomas,
Yeah.
do me a favor, mute for a second.
How do I do that?
Oh, I'll mute you. Hold on.
Okay, thanks.
Oh yeah, they're probably reporting me. That's probably why I'm skipping. Guardians of while you brought that up. Hold on one second, guys. So apparently there are a list of people who have decided to come over here just to report me. So disturb one, look for the list and you can let them go. Because you were welcome to be here and offer your side of the story. I said everybody was welcome. But if the goal is just to come over here and get me shut down, go back over there with her. Go back over there with her. And then y'all could talk and do whatever. But we're not playing that game over here. But Guardians of Valor, thank you so much because it reminded me of the picture I would like to post. Hold on. It's not letting me. There we go. So she has the dog in the picture, and I decided to keep its anonymity. You know how we do children? I decided to hide the dog. My question is this: for how long has she told her people that she had a wound while she was in the military and that it was being covered by her hair? Yeah, the dog doesn't shouldn't be a part of this. Thomas, I'm actually going to drop you for a second so that people can really see what I'm talking about. You can come back up momentarily. Just so y'all can see it. Where's the wound? Because that's what you say is the reason why you have all the problems that you have. You have them convinced Where is it? And see, this is what happens when you lie. You keep up the lie, even though we all know you're stolen valor. We all know it. Because let's be clear about something. Had she been in the military and injured and could collect on that, do you think she would live in a broken down camper van if she could get money that would help her? If she was in the military and could have gotten Guardians of Valor, what do they give those the VA benefit for school? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Or Ladybug, you know it too. The oh my goodness, it's right on the tip of my tongue. No, not the GI Bill. Is it the GI Bill? Yes, it is the GI Bill. So she has to take out a loan that she has to pay back because she took out the loan after getting Social Security. You mean to tell me she'd rather take out a loan that she has to pay back than go through the GI Bill and get it paid for free? Correct, Mary. Right. Pell Grants don't have nothing to do with being ex military. That's one of the benefits. It's one of the reasons why a lot of people go into the military because they have no other way to pay for college. And isn't it funny that as soon as she got her first check, now we might be on academic probation? And of course, she was going to want to say, it's TikTok. It's because of TikTok. TikTok is a choice. TikTok is a choice. When what was happening on TikTok started to overwhelm me, and you guys know what situation I'm talking about, I didn't come on TikTok. Yes, that was Guardians of Valor, CC. Or C. Are you bullshit? Okay? That was Guardians of Valor who did that. Thank you for your service, sir, to the community and to this country. So we already know she's stolen valor, but she's lied to her people saying that she was pew-pewed in her head. Oh no, I thought you were somebody else and I was asking you to wait. Oh, you are absolutely welcome in the box. I thought you were somebody else that was texting me on the side. Oh no,
Hey,
you're
hey,
welcome.
why don't you mind your own goddamn business?
Okay. I was very clear. There would be no disrespect, there'll be no cursing because your goal is to get my live taken down. When I come in your live, your wife immediately blocks me. She says, Desiree, why are you here? And blocks me. And if what you're doing is on a public platform, why do I have to mind my business? If you don't want us to talk about what you do it in private. And Devin, I find it hilarious that you think you could come over here and be a man and put me in my place when you are the bitch in your relationship. Sorry, sir. You don't move nothing around here. You don't get to tell me what to do when you can't tell the woman that you lay next to every day what to do. She tells you to shut up. I wish I would. My man garners all the respect in the world. I would never. I would never. And you think that you're going to be able to come over here and tell me what to do? Sir, you're going to have to try again because you don't know me. You don't know me. You may think that because I'm a woman that I'm a punk, or because I'm a woman you can come over here, and I promise you my dick is bigger than yours and I don't even have one. Don't come over here on that. Now if you want to have a civil conversation, we can do that. But if your goal is to only come over here and create ruckus, sorry. Unlike you, I run this. I run this. You had an open invitation. I have been talking about doing this live for well over a week. I know you were told. Somebody even told me that they told you you could come over here. And of course, you come over here under a burner. You're not blocked. I'm blocked from you, but you're not blocked. You could have easily came over here in the 30 iterations of Beth Osborne or your account and stood on it. But you want to come over here on some bullshit account, and I'm thinking it's somebody else that wants to explain the GI Bill, which is why I didn't put you in the box right away. And now you're saying, oh, I don't want to know the truth. The truth is that there's no wound. And what's so crazy is that I even made sure to say your dogs are not to come up. Your dogs are not to come up. But did I get any respect? Your dogs are not to come up. But did I get any respect for that? No. No. I said there'll be no name calling. And when gentleman says something, I said there'll be no name calling. And when gentleman says something, I reminded him kindly that we're not doing that here. Did I get any respect for that? No. Now, if you would like to try again and have a conversation, we can do that. But you have one more time. And I stand on that. Goldie, are you warning me, or are you like telling me? Like, are you like warning me like I'm supposed to be afraid? Or are you just like, just so that I know? Right. Oh, he's going to get one more time, Guardians of Valor. Did you see how quickly I ended it the first time? Y'all don't got to worry. If I don't have, oh, thank you, Sherry. If I don't have the shoulders, my man got even broader shoulders. I'm not worried about it. Okay? One more time. Everybody hold your breath. My finger will be on the button. Oh, it's Goldie. He left. No, bitch. This whole time I'm thinking it's him and it's Goldie.
No, ma'am, it's me. No, I was
Hi,
just telling
baby.
you because a lot of times when it goes in and out, that means you're getting reported. So
Oh
I was
yeah, I
just
know.
telling you.
Okay,
Oh,
honey.
okay.
Okay,
I,
okay.
I would
I
never
thought you were
report
like
you.
you were saying it
Oh,
like we're
no.
reporting you. No
No,
problem,
no.
honey.
No, ma'am. Okay.
Really,
Thank you.
Devin? That's it. Send Beth over here. Send Beth over here, cause at least I know she can hold her own. You got butthurt because I didn't even block you. I just dropped you out the box. We love TikTok shop. We love TikTok shop. We love TikTok shop. Make sure you guys go purchase something off the TikTok shop because they produce great products on the TikTok shop. Send Beth over here because at least she can hold her own. At least she could hold her own. What he thought was that he was going to come over here and I was going to allow him to just act vile. And then they would go back over there and see that I was bananaed. And then they could laugh, ha, even though you get bananaed all the time. Like, there's already a plan in place if I get bananaed. No one's afraid. Change your soul. Don't worry about it, honey. Just like it. But at least Goldie, she would hold her own. She wouldn't run and hide. He got that butt hurt because I took him out the box. Like I said, Guardians of Valor have already made it clear that she is stolen valor. On top of that, mind you, nobody drove to her house and looked through her window and took a picture of her so we could have this shot. Yeah, I know. I know, Squeezy Bear. Did she finally get the money for her Uber? She did this on live herself, knowing that she's being watched and recorded and everything else. And now we have proof of the lie. You can't be mad at me about that, baby. Correct, Guardians. Well, I'm going to read that out loud. Beth isn't listed anywhere within the VA system. Oh, they sent Maggie back to California? Have a good time, Maggie. When you finish, Maggie, I'm going to still be here on Monday. Okay? And I'm still going to be able to watch you, okay? Do me a favor. Do not try to fight security. That's California, baby. That's not Philly. They don't know you out there. If they ask you to leave, just leave. Because I don't know who's going to come up with the bail. So, follow instructions. Crying ain't going to work. Maggie doesn't care. Maggie does not care. She will find a seat to sit in if she has to sit there for 5 hours. Well, that's what she thinks, and unfortunately, the longer it takes for these investigations to develop any fruit, the bolder she gets, which could be her downfall. I think I was telling the people in my live there was a story where these people booked a cruise in their real name, got on the boat, and had stolen all of these credit cards and had all these fake IDs. The cruise figured it out. They have security. They're watching everything and everybody and every transaction. They let them have the best cruise ever. They let them gamble with it. They let them buy stuff off the boat with it. They brought alcohol and let them rack it up. so that they could guarantee it'd be federal charges. So then when they got back, they got packed up and ready to go like it was going to be great. And the boat made everybody stay on while the FBI was sitting there waiting for them to get off. They don't want you for a misdemeanor. No, no, no. The feds want a crime. And when you go to feds, they want 80% of your time. It ain't going to be 40, 50% of your time as it is in the state. No, no, no. You better hope that all they do is take your services away. But Beth, I thought you and Devin were taking an hiatus. You were running to the mountains to take a break and reset. And you weren't going to feed into the wait a minute, guys. I did this for y'all. Let's find it. Let's go through your video, because I wrote it down. She told us it was going to be a long video, but that she, for the last 5 years, has been followed by lies, twisted her name, made false claims, and tear down everything she has built. No, baby, it wasn't what you built. It's what the people in your chat have built. Not you. Because you wouldn't have a damn thing unless they paid for your life. So no, it won't be you, it's theirs. Okay? Now, she said she has been called a rug addict. You do dabs. So technically speaking, you are. Because when you don't have them, you flip out. Sounds like you need them to me. That she abuses her dogs. Now, I just have this question. What veterinarian would say keeping dogs cooped up inside is the proper way? Find me the veterinarian that would say that. That was my question. 8 of them in a trailer. But that was just based on you. Not going to talk about that no more. Okay. You talked about them going real life. How they went real life on you. But yet, you wanted to send somebody to come find me. You wanted to know who I was fucking. Well, girl, his name is Play Action on here. Okay? Go find him. He's here. Go find him. Okay? You might like what you see, but he's not going to want you, I promise. You said I show you the truth on this platform and others. You show us the truth that you think you want your supporters to see. But here goes some truth. And you did show them. You did. You showed them the truth that you haven't been hit in the head by any pew pew ever. You do show the truth. You just don't like when the truth is shown back to you. Yeah, they said she was in a hotel in California. Let's see. But you also show how deplorable you are in the truth as well. What you show us, I don't need to go real life. I just watch you. And so I don't know that if you don't understand that what you show is deplorable, but I'm here to tell you that you do. So keep showing us your truth. I'm here for it. You said, and I quote, I will not respond to the lies. I will not show proof of things I have already shown time and time again. That you're focusing on healing, on your family, on your love, on your dogs, on your new chapter that you're starting. Is that what you're doing tonight? I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend. If you're here to hate, she's no longer gonna respond to you. Oh, is that why you sent Devin over here? Girl, you should have done better than that. Maybe that's why she didn't come. Because she said she's no longer gonna respond. And at the time I wrote down, I give it a week. Well, here we are a week later. Because, see, if you really weren't concerned, you wouldn't have been here. You wouldn't have listened. You wouldn't have allowed your husband to lose his mind to think he could come over here and check a grown ass woman. And yes, I am a black woman. Old, maybe, but black don't crack. I'll let you sit with that. And now you're going back to regular scheduled program. Well, so am I. Come Monday morning, I'll be back to my regular scheduled programming. And if I find anything that you do to be deplorable, I'll be talking about it. And I don't think that your people like guessing songs. At least not the songs you play. They don't like the silly games. And they don't like the pretend battles either. When you try to act like we're just gonna do one battle tonight. Because what I know is that you're not making any real money battling. You don't even win half the time. I do appreciate the fact that you tell the other battler to please mute me because I'm loud. That's fair. That's fair. But I know and you know that you're not making any real money that way. And since your disbursement is running out soon, and the lady that has been funding your life is going to eventually run out of said money, you'll be back. Oh, thank you, don't fund me. You'll be back. And guess what? I'll still be here. But anyway, tonight was great. I'm going to need for y'all to buck up. Because when I say it should be y'all sounding off, that I've already talked for 11 hours, I done talked another, what, hour and a half tonight? Oh, no, I don't know. Thank you guys. I love you guys too. You guys, there'll be times where I'm like, I don't want to watch. And then I'll be like, nope, because I got to have somebody to talk about on Monday. The hardest morning for me is Wednesday. Because Monday I have like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The Wednesday turnaround is hard. But if y'all are going to be here, I'm going to be here. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys coming in. Like you said, you setting your alarm for 4:30. That is amazing. And I appreciate it. And I hope you want me to talk about Tim and Angela. You got 10 minutes. So I will. Because some people might not know. I found out, I thought everybody would have known. But I found out today not everybody knew. So, and I'm going to talk about this on Monday. So, for anybody who might not be here. So, the other day, Tim was live and he got a phone call. He didn't take long. He muted the live or covered the phone. I wasn't there. I've only seen it after the fact. And when he came back to the live, he told a story about the phone call. And when I say story, I mean he told his wife and the audience what happened. And apparently a woman called, and at first she said, "You owe me money." And then he said, "Who are you?" And then she changed it to, "You owe a lot of people money." Now, if you're new to me, you might not realize it. I would have never made that mistake. Because why in the world would I have ever given them money? Under what planet would I have been on when I did that? So she changed it to, "You owe a lot of people money on here." And then there was the threat that, "I know what town you're in, I know what hotel you're in, and I know what room you're in," because they called the hotel. And then they said something about, like, "Be careful, I'm calling the cops," or "I'm going to the cops," or something like that. And he wanted the audience to know that he felt threatened by that statement. And then he proceeded to tell everybody that he thought it sounded like me. Now, I know I sound like a black woman. So you're not just saying that it was a woman, but it sounded like a black woman. But more importantly, what you had to say was that you've listened to me. Because how could you compare my voice to the voice on the phone if you haven't been listening? Well, Purple, we'll talk about that part on Monday. So I start getting messages like crazy. So I am blocked everywhere else. Yeah, I saw Kesha was on. She'll need something. And so I went in under the only account I knew wasn't blocked. And when I first went in and said, like you said, I said, "What?" He was like, "Did I say your name?" And I was like, "This is digital." What surprised me was that he let me in the box. But prior to letting me in the box, he called me a dumbass. She did, excuse me. Because he turns to her and is like, digital is in the box or wants a box. And she's like, what a dumbass. Now, the only way to call me a dumbass would be to assume that I was the one who called you and then I tried to get in your box. Because under what other circumstance could I be a dumbass? Of course he does, because he didn't get any earlier. So I wanted to be calm. So I let that statement go. Oh, I brought it back around on Friday, but I let it go on Thursday. And I went in the box and I wanted to make it explicitly clear that that wasn't me. I don't do that. The way I do my platform is I watch you live. I watch the nonsense you say, the nonsense you pull, and I write it down and I write down commentary. But by writing it down, it helps jog my memory when later you try to say something else. And once I catch you in the lie, well, here we are off to the races. So I wanted to make it clear to him that no, I didn't do it. And so he immediately said, you know what? Now that I'm hearing you, the voice on the phone doesn't sound anything like you. Isn't that convenient? Because by saying that it sounded like me means that you've heard my voice. This is Tim and Angela. And so now suddenly it's not, I said, okay. And I said, thank you. I appreciate it. I said, this is the way I run my platform. And he was like, well, I never said it was you. I said it sounded like you. But because you rail on quote unquote awareness so much, the moment you say that an awareness person did something, your people are going to believe it. And okay, your people are going to believe it. So I said to him, when I do my lives, I talk. I give my thoughts, my commentary, my feelings about it. And then I say, but you don't have to believe me. Hello, honey. You don't have to believe me. Go watch for yourself. And he was like, well, they still believe you. Well, if I sound like I'm making sense, and if they can compare what you do with what I say, it's easy to believe me. Everybody, that's the man, by the way. Devin, if you're still watching, click, that's a real man, okay? Anyway, so he apologized again, and his mods were like, he's already apologized. So what? He accused me, he implied that I did something outrageous that I would never do. So we're now going to have a conversation. And so I decided to give him an example. I said to him, I said, let me give you an example. You have been saying that the separation letters you and your wife received from McDonald's say that you were terminated because awareness was calling, or you said that they were getting so many calls from TikTok from the awareness people, and that is the reason why you are terminated, and that is what they put in the termination letter. And I said to him, I have challenged you to post the letter. And he was like, I don't got to share my. I said, because I've been in HR for many, many, many years. And I was HR in an at-will state, which means I could fire you for cause or for no reason whatsoever. And when you're in an at-will state, unless what they did was so outrageous, like they stole, You never put a reason. And the reason why you don't put a reason is because if they take their termination letter to unemployment and it gives a reason, unemployment's question to the business is, did you give them a verbal warning? Did you give them a written warning? Did you give them a plan of recovery? Did you do this? Did you do that? And if the answer to those questions are no, they are granted unemployment because they feel like you didn't do enough to repair the employee. So companies avoid giving a reason. They just say your services are no longer welcome. We wish you well in your future endeavors. Well, when he realized that I was exposing that big lie, he dropped me out the box and then blocked me. He wasn't happy about it. And I did that in his box. I know TikTok villain. I did that weeks ago when he first got fired, and people were like, "Are you going to file for unemployment?" And he was like, "Yes, we are." I immediately came to my live the next morning and showed them why they don't qualify. So, of course, I know, but I wanted to play along. Of course, Shannon, he was called. I bet you he won't accuse me of anything else. I bet you that. He might never say my name again. Dang digital, how do we fight that when they leave the space blank? Well, you would go into unemployment. You would tell unemployment what they said in your termination conversation and say, while the letter may be vanilla, in my separation conversation, they told me these were the reasons why, and they didn't try to help me get better. They didn't offer me like a performance plan. I didn't get a verbal and a written warning. That's how you would fight it. But it's very hard in at will states. And depending on the unemployment officer that you meet with, it could go either way. But that's how you would do it. At least try. Anyway, it is exactly 10 o'clock. Mr. is home, and it is time for me to go. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you. Even though I said I wasn't going to do all the talking, I enjoyed tonight. We'll come up with something else for next time. He's gone out of here. Time to play his game. He been gone. Everyone, hug your loved ones. Tomorrow isn't promised. Please make sure you spend some time doing some self-care. I'm not going to bore you with what I usually say. I appreciate, though, you taking part of your Saturday night and spending it with me. After spending 11 hours with me all week, some of you then turned around and spent your Saturday night. And for that, I am eternally grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sunday night, there will be a sub only live at 7 p.m. And for everybody else, that's okay, disturbed one. 290 is fantastic. And we didn't get taken down, even though we know we were getting reported. Is that making you sad, Beth? Anyway, I love you all. I will either see you in the streets or Sunday night or Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern. If this is your first time here, thank you, and I hope you continue to join the Digital Deceivers Detectives, because that's what all of you are. Thank you, thank you. Tim is breathing hard. I bet he is. Everybody have a good night. I'm out.
you.